guys, it's Maria. So today we're going to talk about helping our kids to talk. So this is primarily for our littles, our toddlers who just aren't able to tell us what they want and need yet. And I go through some tips and tricks and things that you can do at home to help improve language and help improve communication. So if you're severely concerned, if you're really thinking that something might just not be right, check with your doctor. Sit down with your pediatrician, get a referral, have a speech test, maybe have a hearing screening, just to make sure everything's okay. In that front, if it is a speech and language issue, that you can usually get therapy services. A lot of times they're covered by your insurance company. It's not a big deal, and it just helps give them a little extra push. But these are things that you can do at home alongside speech therapy services or as a standalone for now to help increase language and vocabulary. For me, one of the biggest things is going to be take away their devices, take away their tablets, their phones, the things that they're walking around glued to most of the time, which for you parents, I'm sorry to say this out loud, that means put down your own devices. You want to be present with your kids. You want face-to-face interaction, communication, sharing. Communication is not just speech. You want it to be an all-encompassing sort of thing. So the more that you can, get off your devices, make sure that they're off all the other devices. We want them exploring the world and being present so that they can see, hear, smell, taste, touch everything that's going on around them so that they can start to imitate all of the things that they're seeing or hearing. Sorry, I'm trying to write that out. I kind of just go on the fly here. Repetition, parents. So along the lines of them being able to hear and see and smell and taste and start doing, you want to repeat constantly. So say you're working on naming, whether it's body parts, naming people in the house, things like that. Pick a word and repeat that one over and over and over and over again, because that is how we build those neural connections and pathways in the brain. If you want your kid to say mommy, then you're gonna say mommy all day long, and you're gonna have everybody else in the house saying mommy. You're gonna have them calling for mommy, mommy. You're gonna have them saying mommy, mommy, like, look, mommy. One word, and that one word you're going to say somewhere upwards of 75 times, if not more. Repetition, repetition, over and over again until you think you might be going crazy. That's the sweet spot, when you think you might actually be going crazy. Exposure. So you want your kids exposed to other kids. As much as they want to imitate mom and dad, they really want to imitate other kids. Other kids are much cooler. They're much more fun than we are. So having them be around other kids who might be just a little bit older than them, who might have a little bit more language and vocabulary, so they can listen and look and start trying to imitate. That's what we want. We want them exposed to other kids. I am big on structured activities when it comes to imitation. So story time at the library, a play group with activities, art class, dance class, something where it's a structured activity. It has a beginning, middle, and an end. It has a routine that can get consistently used to doing the same things over and over again. The playground is a lot of fun, but the playground is a free-for-all, chaotic environment. There's not a lot of imitation happening there. It's more like survival. So playground is fun. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying if you're looking for language and exposure, pick a structured activity. Again, I always preach story time at the library because it's free and it's exactly the same library to library. So we keep that consistency going week to week. Play. I think the very first thing I said was to get rid of those screens so that we could be present. In being present, we want our kids to play. We want them to pick up toys, put the little people inside the car and in the house and down the street. We want them to manipulate, like hold with their hands, and we want them to play. just like they're watching us do stuff, they're going to copy that and use it in play. So for me, the best toys for play, for language, are animals, because they make sounds, cars and trucks, because they make sounds, people with like houses and things like that that you can put them in and out of, because it is representative of the things that we're doing all day long. The people go in the car, they drive to work, they go to school, they go back home, they make the food, all of those things. And a lot of those things actually have sounds. So in play, we want them playing, we want them touching and feeling. We also want them making silly sounds. You know, get the ambulance, woo, 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 woo. You get the car, you get the choo-choo train. The kids are gonna eat, yum, 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 yum. And the cow comes in and says, moo. All of those sounds. Sounds are much more fun than words. Play involving sounds, play involving pretend, play involving imitating things that we see and hear every day are really good for kids. I know it seems silly, but it's important. And I would much rather kids have a $5 pack of squishy animals from a store or a garage sale or anywhere you can find them than a $1,000 tablet. I know it's silly. It's actually a lot cheaper. It's easier. And it's things that they can use and touch and feel. You don't walk into a preschool class and see kids on tablets. You walk into a preschool class and see kids playing with toys. That's really important. Books. You know, take out kiddie books, baby books, go to the library and check out books and sit with your kids. And it's funny because I've had parents look at me and say, but they can't read. I'm like, I know. They can't sit long enough for me to read. That's fine. Open the book, look at the pictures. Ball. Ooh, turn the page. Baby, turn the page. Look, apple. That's all we're doing at this age. We're sitting, we're maybe putting them on our lap, and we're looking at the book. We're looking at the pictures. We're naming the things. Eventually, as their attention span gets a little better, then we can actually talk about it, maybe actually read the words if they're able to sit long enough for us to do that. But right now, it's just an exposure to things like that with a connection. That's something we don't have in front of a screen. Exposure with connection. This is a hard thing for me. It's silence. We want to be silent. Every once in a while, we just want to stop talking so that they can communicate. So just like when we're having a conversation, I talk, you talk, I talk, you talk, you need to give them space to talk. So maybe you have their favorite drink, milk, yum. Pause, maybe count to 5 in your head and see if they look at you and say something. See if they look at you and say, me, mine, milk, gimme. I don't care, anything. We just want to give them enough time, give them that pause to see if they're going to interact with us. Throw the ball, bring the ball, throw the ball, stop, be quiet. See if there's gonna be something in there. Routines are super important. Knowing what's going to happen next, because we always do this and then that and then this and then that. And eventually maybe they'll start getting in the habit of the routine and start naming the routine and knowing what we do next. It's part of development, it's part of repetition, is that routine. Keep doing the same things over and over again. Keep saying the same songs over and over again as part of your routine, because that will start helping them with their development and their communication. Limit your words. I think I already said that one. I've said a lot of stuff in here. Anyway, parents, these are just a few things that you can do at home with your kids. Honestly, to me, the most important ones are take them off their electronics, make sure that they play, work on repetition, and have a lot of interactions at home with 1 or 2 people, maybe outside with 1 or 2 people, and in a structured setting with a couple of other kids. I hope this helps. As always, feel free to send a message, let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions, send them in, because that's how I know what other videos to make. Subscribe, share, like, tell me what you think. All right, have a great day. Bye.